Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Welcome you all again in the virtual learning system of Pakistan International School, Taif, Saudi Arabia. Dear students, as you know that this is Pakistan International School, Taif, virtual class for class 10th students, subject computer science, and today is our 12th lecture. Teacher name Imran Ahmed. In the previous lecture, we were discussing about the chapter number 2, short question, what are reserved words, why they should not be used as variable name. First of all, we discussed the reserved word. After that, we have discussed why they are not used as the variable. Next question was, why comments are used in program? We did this question practically. I show you how the comments and what is the purpose of comments to use in our C program. There are two types of comments are used in or C program or C++ program. Single line comments and multi-line comments. For the when I will use a single line comments, then we should have to use double forward slash for the single line comments. And if I use the multiple line, then I will use the forward slash steric, then comments, either it is two line or more than two lines, then I will must use for more than two lines, I will use forward slash steric. Then at the end, when my comments will be complete, I will put steric and forward slash for the closing of the multi-line comment. So slash steric and steric slash is known as multi-line comments. Next question. What is the use of typecasting in C program? First of all, you must have to understand what is the meaning of typecasting. Keep in mind in C or C++, we use three kinds of data, three major data types are used. Three major data types are used: integer, float, and character. We will discuss in the coming chapters. Over here, for the short question, we use three major kinds, three major. Okay, first is integer. Shortly, we write int. Next is real. For the real values, we use float. And for the character char, we use the char for the character type of variable. Now, for type to understand the typecasting, first of all, you must understand the result of integer. What is the integer value? What is integer value? Integer value is that we don't have any decimal point. For example, 55 is an integer, but 55.5 is not an integer. 55 is an integer and 55.5 or 55.0 is not an integer. So whenever the combination of two integers, let's say 2 plus 2, result is 4. 2 is integer and with the combination of integer, they produce the result 4 and 4 is also an integer. So combination of integer and integer result will be integer. Next, combination of integer and float result will be float. And combination of float and float result will be also a float. Float means that value which have the decimal point is known as float. In the C or C++, we called it float. In mathematics, you will call this one that is real value. Okay, typecasting is the process. Typecasting, what is typecasting? So typecasting in C language means whenever I told you, I will convert one data type into another data type. There are many kinds of program will be present. Uh, if I convert the integer value into float value, then I will use typecasting process. Or if I use the float value If I use the float value into, if I use the float value and want to convert into integer value, then I will use the typecasting process. Now, what is typecasting? I hope you understand the typecasting. Meaning of typecasting means whenever I will convert one data type to another data type, then this process is known as typecasting. Typecasting is the method to convert a variable from one data type to another data type during program execution. For example, you have declared a variable of type integer, let's say int x. So x is an integer, and you want to use that integer value as a float value. So it means that you are doing the typecasting process. It makes a variable of one type to act like another type. One type, one type is, let's say, integer, and you want it will act like as a float type. So we use this process is known as typecasting. A variable of type int can act as variable of type character using typecasting. So over here, your book shows the example with the character. So integer can also act like as character, and character we can use in the with the help of typecasting as integer. So reverse any data type can be converted to any other data type. So this process is known as typecasting. There are two types of typecasting in C language. In C, how many types of typecastings are used? Two types of typecasting is used. First one is called implicit typecasting, and another second is called the explicit typecasting. Next, long question. There long question is present. So extensive question or long question describe the following high level languages. High level languages: C, C++. B is Visual Basic. Third is C hash. It is also known as C sharp. It is, this one is also known as C sharp. So next is Java. First of all, we will explain the C language, then C++, then Visual Basic one by one. So this one is extensive question, theoretical question. C language was developed in early 1970s. So you must remember the dates when it was developed and how it was developed and where it was developed. So C language was developed in early 1970s. Who by Dennis Ritchie. Who developed the C language? Dennis Ritchie. Where it was developed? At Bell Laboratories. At Bell Laboratories. C has become one of the most popular programming languages today. So mostly early in the before your section, uh, year back, if I remember, year back we were not teaching the C language in class 10. We were using the basic language. But basic is nowadays discarded, and C is in your course. So it is the most popular programming language, you can say that. It is highly structured programming languages. Structured programming language, structure means in the structured programming languages or procedural languages, there are three things are involved: input, process, and output. Structured programming, input, process, and output. So there are different kinds of things are used in the structured programming. For example, decision control is used, loop control is used, different kinds of functions we can use in the structured programming. So this one is known as the structured programming. In the past, it was mainly used for the writing system programs. System programs means, keep in mind, your Windows, Microsoft Windows operating system is developed in C language. So in the past, it was mainly used for writing system programs such as operating systems, compilers, assemblers. So all of these are the things: compiler, operating system, assembler. They are known as system program. So for the system programming, we can also use the C language. But C language is used for the multi-purpose for hardware programming and for the software programming. Hardware interaction, we can also use the C language, and for the software producing or the making any kinds of software, we can also use the C language as well. For the hardware, for example, watch over here, they say we can also develop the operating system. In C language, we can also develop the compilers, assemblers, interpreters, etc. So we in the C language they use the compiler as well. Assembler, what is assembler? In assembly language, they use the assembler. Today it is used for writing all types of application programs. Mm, I told you, not only for the system programs, we can also use for the application programs as well. So C language can be used as the application programming as well. So this is the short definition of C language. Main thing is over here, C language was developed in the 1970s. Many times I saw in the MCQ portion when C language was the developed exact year. I know exact year when it was developed, it was 1972. But in your book, they say in 1970s means 71, it could be 71, 72, up to 79, it could be produced. But the exact year of the C language is 1972. Who developed the C language? The name is Dennis Ritchie. And where it was developed? At the Bell Laboratories. Okay, next C++. First, I explained the C language, now C++. C++ was developed by Bijrani Storstrop, also at the Bell Laboratories, when it was developed during 1983 to 1985. C++ is super case of C language, super case of C language. So you can say that C is the subset of C++. Advanced version of C is C++. So when the limitation of C language has been started, C++ is started over there. Meaning that any valid C program is also valid C++ program. I can say that in second year, when you will be in second year, we will study the few chapters of C++. Few chapters of C++. Why I say the few chapters? Because in second year, many chapters of C language are involved, but only one or two chapters for the C++ is also present. So in the second year class, you will be revise this subject. In the second year, you will revise this C language. But few syntax have changed for the C++. Let's say I will explain in the later when we will do the program. Meaning that, okay, so I say C++ is the super case of C. Meaning, what is the meaning of super case? That any valid C program. So valid C program means any program of C language, you can say that is also valid C++ program. The purpose of developing C++ was to provide object-oriented programming facilities. Watch over here. There is the word written object-oriented programming. What is the meaning of object-oriented programming? C language was used for the structure programming. C language is a structure programming, and the C++ is used for the object-oriented programming. Now I will tell you what is object-oriented programming. First, object. What is an object? What is an object? Existence of anything in the world. Existence of anything in the world is known as object or entity. Existence of anything in the world is known as object, or you can say that entity as well. Each object, let's say I say existence, let's say I'm an object, you are an object, all the students are an object, everything is an object which have existence. So when I say I am an object, you are an object, all the objects belongs to some classes. For example, I am an object, you are an object. We belongs to a class, human class. We belong to human class. Let's say I give you another example. For example, cycle, motorcycle, car, truck, they are objects and they belongs to a class which is known as, and its class is what will be the name of their classes? What will be the name of their class? Their class will be vehicle. Their class will be vehicle. So every object contains two things. One is one is properties and another one is the function. Every object have two things. One is properties and another one is function. Let's say I am an object, my property, my name is my property. And what are my functions? I'm teacher. Okay, I'm teaching you. This is my function. I can teach C++ or Visual Basic or C language. So these are my functions. So when we deal the real world problems, when we deal with the real world problems, so we can also use the C++ language as well. So this one is known as object oriented programming to easily and quickly write more powerful program. Next is Visual Basic. Next language is Visual Basic. Shortly, we can say that Visual Basic is VB. Watch here where the word VB is written, it means that Visual Basic is high level language. VB is more powerful programming language for writing Windows and web application. For writing Windows applications and the web application. It provides a graphical development environment. Graphical development environment, for example, I'm using the MS Word right now, and in the Zoom meeting, I am using the MS Word. So watch here in the MS Word, you are watching the menus bar. There are different kinds of icons are there over here at the top, icons over there. So this one is the Windows application. So Windows, I can also develop in the Visual Basic Windows and web application. Web application means I can also make the email program or Facebook program. Let's say I need other thing web application. It provides a graphical development environment. GUI, graphical user environment. You can say the interface. You can also say that it provides graphical development environment. VB is commonly used. Now there before Visual Basic there was another language which is called which was known as basic language. The advanced version of basic language is the Visual Basic. So VB is commonly used for developing business program. Business program or database program, you can say that mostly we use the Visual Basic for the database programming language. Used for the developing business programs such as payroll system and inventory control system. The use can also write related with the engineering, science, arts, education, games, etc. It means that I can make any kind of program, but the basic feature of the Visual Basic is we mostly we use Visual Basic in the database kind of program. But also we can do many other things, many other programs we can also develop related with the engineering purpose or science purpose or arts purpose or the education or the game, etc. as well. Okay, next one was C hash. Or you can say that this one C hash means C sharp. C sharp. So C hash pronounced as C sharp is language developed in 2000. Who developed? Microsoft Corporation. It is simple, modern, general purpose programming. General purpose means I can make any kind of program in the C hash language or C sharp language, any kind of program. The syntax of C hash is very similar to the C and C++. Watch here. You can say that the every syntax of C, syntax means, I will tell you what is the meaning of syntax. Syntax means rules for the language. Syntax is the or the rules for any language. Let's say Whenever in the English language, whenever you complete the sentence, you put the full stop at the end of each sentence. In C language, whenever you will complete any kind of instruction or any statement, you put the semicolon. So semicolon, so these things are known as syntax. So rules for any language. So syntax, I can say that over here they want to explain the syntax of C sharp is very similar to C and C++. It also has some same feature of Java. So C sharp have also the few features of Java languages as well. It is a language that makes computer programming easy and efficient. Next is Java language. Java is high-level language developed by the Sun Microsystem. Who developed Sun Microsystem? It is very similar in syntax to C and C++. You can say that the Java has also similar syntax of C and C++. Java is an ideal language for network computing. For example, for the network programs, we can use the Java language as a core language. It is used for writing programs for wide range of devices, computers, and networks. It is widely used in web applications. Web applications, so mostly in the any kind of web application. Web application means which is related with the internet. So these are known as the web application. So mostly they use the Java language as well. The current version of most web browser are made as Java enabled. For example, Chrome, if you are using any browser, let's say Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, so all they have the Java enabled. So a few browser that's for Java or Microsoft Internet Explorer, few browser names who support the Java languages are Microsoft Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Mozilla. So they are also use the Java language as well. Okay, I think today is enough. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll start the next long question, which is differentiate between the compiler and interpreter. So today is enough. You can take care of yourself. Pray for me, pray for all Muslims. Allah Hafiz.